my right, we have candidate Ennio.
Boo.
Nope.
Interesting
Boo.
choice of clothing.
Boo.
Alrighty, today we
Good
have a
thing our
debate
country be
about
run by that.
general city topics. All right, guys, we have a speaker. Stop talking. General city topics to the candidates. Each candidate will have about 60 seconds for their initial speech and 35 seconds for rebuttals if they would like to do so. Without further ado, let's get on to question one. Candidate Eric Mason, are you ready?
I am, sir.
Alrighty, question one. What are some plans you have as an elected official to make things better around the city?
Well, first off, I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. I'm looking forward to getting our state back on track. My name is Eric Mason. I'm the candidate for governor. I'm a former veteran of the United States Army. I did 2 tours in Afghanistan with a Bronze Star Medal. I served my time in the state police as a detective, working my way up to lieutenant. So I've seen firsthand the pitfalls of poverty and crime within San Andreas, and I believe that I'm the man who can truly get that back on track. We need crime reduction. We need jobs to go up. So, first state of business is to appoint a judicial department. As it stands now, the state police is acting as judge, jury, and executioner, and I feel like that's a heavy load for our state troopers. So, my first order of business is going to be to appoint and nominate an attorney general and a state judge who will take over serious felony cases such as bank robberies, murders, kidnappings, things like that. So that's the first thing that we're going to start off with. And I'll
Alright,
yield the
thank you.
remainder of my time.
Alright, over to candidate Ennio. Alright, if we could hold applause till the end of the conference, that would be great.
But no one's
Candidate
gonna
Ennio,
applause for him.
same question to you. What are some plans you have as an elected official to make things better around the city?
Okay, so first of all, thank you all to be here and thank you to be having me in here. So, my name is Anu here. I'm a
Is he
common
even American?
person among one amongst you. I didn't got anything from military. I don't do anything. I just I will just reduce some weed thing. I support weed. Yeah, I support weed. I will just uh, try to reduce my much punishment on weed thing. You could just earn from weed thing. That's okay. So and another thing, I will try to make maintenance of your pay grade. I've just talked to many people around here. They just said that their pay is not as good as a police person. So I will try to get it done with the yeah, I will try to do it more. You should get some more because you do service. Uh, you do as a public, so you have got
Alrighty.
something.
Think
So I will
like
Alright,
do
shit.
that. Okay,
that is
that's
your
it.
minute.
Okay,
Alrighty,
thank
thank
you.
you guys so much. Eric Mason, if you had any
Thank you.
rebuttal to his
Get off
statement
the
there.
wall, sir.
No rebuttal. Let's move forward.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we can move forward with question two. Eric Mason, there's been a concern regarding Lake Tatavium and the decrease in water quality from the in the tap water from that lake. What do you propose to do?
Oh, the fuck?
I've been peeing in it.
Okay, as soon as we're
The
all
fuck?
settled down, we'll
Fight.
continue.
I
Fight,
think you
fight,
should
fight, fight,
stop.
fight, fight.
Are we,
Oh,
are
these
we all good?
motherfuckers just. What the fuck? Why am I getting arrested?
Wait, why is he getting detained?
Okay, can
I
we
just
act
got
like
I think
punched
he
in the
adults
needs
now?
some
face.
medic.
Adults now.
Yeah, can you just keep
Being
it down
detained
so we
until we
can
can
get
figure
this
this
done?
out.
Arrest him.
Okay, well, the biggest. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Absolutely, sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, again, can we please keep it down until after the conference? Question two, there has been a concern regarding Lake Tatavium and the decrease in water quality of the tap water from that lake.
Hmm.
What do you propose we do?
Well, our biggest thing is we need to get our agriculture department back on track, as well as the Department of Energy. I've been in contact with several members of the Trump administration from the federal government. They've agreed to my request that if I'm elected, we're going to get some federal agencies up and running here in San Andreas, specifically the EPA. I believe the EPA is going to be a major impact on audits and inspections of our well water and our reservoirs, making sure all of our water containment systems are up to code. Um, and if they're not, then we're going to make some drastic changes because I know I wouldn't want any of my girls drinking contaminated water, and I know everybody in the audience and people who are watching at home wouldn't either. So we're going to get these federal agencies in here, and we're going to get this water cleaned up. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Same question to you, candidate Anio. There have been concerns regarding Lake Tatavium and the decrease in the quality of tap water from that lake. What do you propose we do, sir?
Well, I don't have any contacts in Trump administrative, so I will just try to make a separate office, like officers a joint or commission. I will just make a separate thing to check about that lake problem. I will try to do as fast as we can. We will never do. Yeah, that's all. I will never make it
Alright.
late.
This guy just cares about his weed.
Hey, calm it down.
I'd like to
Okay.
rebuttal.
Question three. Oh, okay. Awesome, Eric. We will have 35-second rebuttal from Eric Mason.
I only need 5. I think it's very concerning that we don't have a candidate who has a solid plan to fix our water system.
Oh my.
Alrighty. Do you have a rebuttal for that, Anio? Would you like to have a 35-second rebuttal?
No, I got some plans, but I will just do it when I will be elected. So it's it will be. I just said that commission will do everything. I don't have to. I will just elect some intelligent and agricultural uh, guys. So I will just make the commission and try to do as fast we can. We will not make it a delay, which is happening on their government in Trump administrative.
Okay.
That's
And
all.
on to question three. How do you feel about the? And this is on to Eric Mason. Back to Eric Mason again. How do you feel about the recent orca suicide epidemic, and what do you propose we do to prevent further orca deaths?
Okay. Well, in general, suicide rate, regardless if it's orcas or if it's individuals, needs to be addressed. Um, Obviously, suicide is a very terrible and final solution to a temporary problem. Uh, my administration is going to work hand in hand with the citizens of our community to ensure that everybody has the resources they need to get back onto their feet, whether that's tuition assistance, financial aid, education benefits, community outreach and support programs, AA meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous. Even if we have to revamp our drug rehabilitation centers, we're going to do that. We're going to put people in the best situation they can be to win and to succeed and get back on their feet. I'm tired of seeing our streets be polluted with chaos and death. And under the Mason administration, that's going to end. I promise you that.
Woo!
Alrighty. Same question over to Anio. How do you feel about the recent orca suicide epidemic, and what do you propose we do to prevent further orca deaths?
I think in here we could just legalize this weed thing. You know, the weed could just it's natural herb. It could just make you relax. The behind of any suicide, it's because of the stress, which could release by this weed thing. So we could just simply legalize weed. We could just make weed legal in every shops. From because of that, we could just make stress on the lower level. Yeah, and I will try about those drugs, opium thing, that is not good for our health. So um, I will try to make a very strict commission. Yeah, I will try to get these officers that take a great action against those drugs
Save
and
mass for me.
opium and those kind of things. Yeah, which they are taking right. They did to take it very well.
What
So
happened?
I will
What are you
try
doing?
to.
Alrighty, and time.
What happened?
Okay,
What the hell?
Eric Mason, question
Why
for
are
you.
you?
Have you given any thought on how you would like to see the
Dude, what
bird
are you
flu
doing?
epidemic fixed? Recently, there have been an increased number of birds falling from the sky. How do you propose we fix that?
That's a very interesting question.
You guys already said
I
you.
myself have
Why are you
seen
shifting again?
and have
Well,
been victim
Because
firsthand at
we
these
didn't know where
birds
it came
falling
from,
onto
because
the
you
hood
were
of my
driving
vehicle.
like a maniac all over the place.
It's very concerning
I'm
and it's
missing
very
the-
alarming. The biggest thing that we need to work with is really just the communication between government agencies. Right now, as I said, the EPA is going to be coming in here to look at our water systems. So as well, we need to get Parks and Recreation established so that way we can figure out what it is infecting these birds. If it is their water supply, their food supply, we need to look at their
I dare
migration
you. I
habits.
dare you.
So we need to just get more oversight in here to figure out what's going on. Okay, let's get
We
that
got a
guy out
runner.
of here.
Oh shit, oh shit. Motherfucker.
I didn't see anybody.
You got. Front gate, front gate. Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there. Gary, he's heading to his car.
That's why I was shot. And
What
killed.
the fuck? Oh.
Dude, why did you shoot and kill him?
Who just fucking? Who just killed this guy?
This guy in this black van over here.
It's not a van.
Dude.
It's an
No.
SUV.
Doesn't matter. That's not the important thing, is it?
He was taken off after he assaulted somebody over there. You all
Yeah,
told
but
to
you don't
catch him
just
and gun
fucking
him down. I gunned him down.
No, who said
So
that?
that's lethal force then?
Yeah, no,
I heard
right?
gun him down over there earlier.
No, you had no right to just fucking blast it. He didn't have a gun. He was trying to escape. Yeah, it doesn't mean just shoot him in the fucking back. Jesus Christ.
Okay, and in addition to that, how the hell are you gonna talk to birds? You said you're gonna talk to animals, and I was like so confused.
What?
You
I
said
didn't
you
get
like
it.
Can do a lot of things, man.
like yeah, you said you're gonna like talk to birds or something like that to do with the birds falling out of the sky. Like how does that make any sense?
He mean
No,
when he smoke all that
they-
weed, he think he speak to bird.
No.
Guys, what the
No.
fuck, man?
Oh my
Shit.
god!
Guys,
Holy
your weapons. This is a public fucking gathering.
Fuck off!
What are the
People
cops
are ruining
doing
your
here?
car.
You see, I think royalty security should have been. Yeah, we would have handled this.
Sir, I have a.
There's a sniper on the
Hey.
mountain. There's a sniper on the mountain. There's a
Right,
sniper on the
I
mountain.
think
royalty is actually the biggest.
Oh shit!
Guys, chill out.
Why is there a sniper?
Sniper
There's a
on the
sniper.
Pop.
There's a sniper.
sniper.
Yeah,
That's a
Relax.
Sir, get down.
Relax.
Sir, get down.
Guys.
Sir, get down.
Guys,
Sir,
it's a
get down.
cop.
Get
It
away
is
from
a
the back.
cop. It is a cop.
Everyone
You get
stay
away
calm.
from the wall,
Stay calm.
Step back into the red area and just get back.
Sorry, I just got
Get
Let's
out
get
of
that
there.
vehicle out of here.
Yeah, we
That individual has been removed from the city permanently for fail RP. Now let's continue on where we were.
Thank
you. Damn.
Thanks, ladies and
Alright,
gentlemen.
let's get back into our
Thank you.
positions.
Yeah, who was asking me?
Get back on the red carpet.
Jesus Christ.
Alrighty, we'll open it back up to question 5. Any more questions?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
Alrighty, sir.
Yeah.
How do you plan to battle corruption, sir?
Who's your question
No,
for?
Not stepping back for me.
All of you guys.
Okay, what was your question again?
How do you plan to battle corruption
Battle corruption?
inside the police department and in general?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
So,
that's
alright.
Very good.
So, I'll go first, because that's a personal subject for me. Sir, can you give me an example of the corruption that you're talking about? Because I want to address facts here, not speculation.
Well, I could tell you that if, let's say you confiscate dirty money from a known fugitive, a lot of the time...
Okay, alright, stop. We're not dealing with let's say. I want you to give me a factual event in history that happened that directly pertains to corruption within the State Department.
Yeah,
I'm not going to talk about speculation.
Oh. Just,
I
mean, just say officers confiscating stuff from you and keeping it for themselves.
Charging, exactly, yeah. So I would say, you know, getting stuff from the people that they apprehend and just keeping them for themselves. An example would be, if you ticket somebody, or you pull somebody over, you give them a lot of retarded, meaningless tickets to drive the fee up. Or you search them and you take all their stuff.
Right. Alright. So, if any of you had a chance to watch my interview with Weasel News a couple of days ago, I addressed that question. Part of my role as, hopefully, the governor of San Andreas is audits and inspections of federal and state agencies. The state police, as some states call it, the State Highway Patrol, that is a state-owned and operated corporation and agency. So, as part of my responsibilities as governor would be the audits and inspections of those agencies. Essentially, at any time, I would be able to walk in, pull up criminal records, find out how our officers are doing, how they're arresting people, if the inmates are receiving due process, and if they're not, then my nomination for Attorney General is going to come in and figure out what the issue is and try to get everything back on track. So a big thing is if somebody feels like they're not receiving due process of the law and they have gone above and beyond reaching out to the leaders of the state police, which I encourage, then they can reach out to my office and I'll send an auditor to find out what the issue is. But a lot of our state troopers go through extensive training to ensure that they are ready and they have the knowledge and skills to take with them onto the streets. I know the major doesn't want an untrained person riding around in a state-marked vehicle because that puts the public in danger and that puts the officer in danger as well. So we're going to do the best that we can to ensure that our agencies are running smoothly and they have the equipment, money, knowledge, training, and resources to carry out their duties effectively.
Alrighty.
I'll pass it over to my opponent.
Right. Yeah, see what Anio has to say to exactly the same question though.
Yeah, many of the things he just said, the same thing which I want to say, that I could just directly get those people. I will just directly get those people. I will just try to. Otherwise, for example, you just said that if the police confiscate that dirty money, they could just submit it to the police department, which will be going to dumped. Yeah, we will just put a fire on that money. So I will just create those kind of stuffs in police department, arrange those kind of stuff. So that will be a great help for the police to make corruption less in police department. So
I would
that's
like to
it.
rebuttal. I very much would like to rebuttal.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So my opponent here is reminding me of Joker from The Dark Knight, setting money to the fire. Um, how about instead of lighting the money on fire and letting it go to waste, how about we take that money that we take off the streets and put it to good use? Let's talk about education reform. Let's talk about getting our schools back on track to where they need to be to succeed. Let's talk about getting our officers new equipment, new body armor. Let's talk about getting our mechanics and our taxi drivers the tools that they need to carry out their jobs. Let's put that money to use instead of lighting it on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so we could just do that thing, but what
Eric
about weapons?
Mason.
The illegal weapons. We could just use put that on fire, or do you want to give those illegal weapons to our military? Do you want to do that? Because it could be a bad weapon for them to use that. I'm just saying that the police who got those weapons or anything could just get into that at a part of police department where they could just submit those all things. Like you said, we could just use that dirty money. So we can use that dirty money, yeah. So I'm not saying that I will just. I was just referring to that
Alrighty.
putting fire on weapons. Yeah.
We'll reel this question back
Trying
in.
to
Does
light
anybody
things
else
on
from
fire
the
just like
public,
you tried to light your criminal record on
yeah.
fire, huh?
Does anybody from the public have any other
I
questions?
think you just. It's from you.
Damn.
You are the one who just
candidates.
leaked
Let's
that information about
All right,
me.
Anio.
It was the only one
Never mind,
regarding me.
Let's reel it back in.
You got
Anybody
some
else from the public
serious
have any other
corruption.
questions? Sir, I'll have to ask you to stop talking. Anybody
Yeah.
else? You on the left there? You have a question, sir?
What the?
Gang.
Those illegal activities, we could just give them some reward. Like we could just make money to those people who are in these gang bang things. So we could just uh, make a great reward, and we could just raid their homes and their locations, like we just done to that Osama. So we could just do that thing to them. That would be a great thing. That's all.
Alrighty, Eric, we'll open the question back up to you. Do you remember the question, or would you
Raid
like me to read it off
our
again?
homes.
I do.
The fuck you step in my house, motherfucker.
Alrighty.
So
Oh, you're here, Omi.
let's tone it down a second. My opponent's right. I am a detective. Whether or not I remain a detective will be determined in probably the next 30 minutes. The biggest thing though is I just want to say how proud I am to my detectives who serve under me. Those guys have gone above and beyond any requirement, any goal that I've ever set for them. Together, my agency of internal investigations has taken thousands of narcotics off the street, as well as tens of thousands of counterfeit bills, hot money, hot cash. So I firsthand have had a part in cleaning up our streets with drugs and crime. What makes you think I'm going to stop as governor? That's my question. I believe that's your answer.
Alrighty, and a good answer that is.
Yeah,
Okay.
can I get us some counterpart? What about
rebuttal me, please.
What about the support you are getting from the gang members? What about that? You are just
I
saying
know of
that.
no gang members you're talking about.
Oh, are you sure you are getting support from royalty? Are you not?
So you're saying royalty is a crime organization?
Active
Yeah,
crime
kind of gang.
Because to my knowledge, royalty is a family. Okay,
Yep,
No,
you're
and
honest.
it's a gang.
royalty,
He
And
just
many of
royalty
them are
does
here
they just
tonight, so you're just gonna spit on their name like that?
no.
They deserve it.
I'm not
What?
spitting on them.
I'd like to see what
I'm
facts
just
you have that proves they're a crime organization.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Because from
They-
what it
they do
looks like
kidnap
to me,
things.
because what it looks like to me is they are people who want to see our state moving again, and those don't sound like criminals to me. They sound like opportunists, and I would be more than willing to have any one of them serve in my administration.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You will say that thing because you are just you are getting support from them, so you will just say
Okay,
that those things.
let's not get ridiculous here. Let's get back on topic.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, so we'll move on straight over to question 6. I'll give this to Annio to start out with. Los Santos has seen an increase in drug activity. What are your plans to fight that?
It's
He's
just
gonna
simple.
legalize.
Just, I will just legalize weed, not drug. Okay.
Weed is a drug.
Weed is a drug.
No, it's a herb, man. It doesn't harm you. Okay. It doesn't harm you. First of all, just
Well, it makes you
I
talk
got.
to bird.
What? I'm
That could
just
harm my
that
daughter
bird
if
thing.
she sees you
No,
touch
man.
Let the man
Wait.
answer the question.
Wait. I'm about the bird thing. I will just go for the WWF, the Worldwide Federation. They will just do those stuff. Okay, so I don't have to panic it. Okay, I will not take any stress on that thing for about these drug activities. I support weed. I'm not supporting meth or opium or coke. Okay, so it is illegal. It will be illegal. But weed is an organic thing, so I will just try to make it legalized or make the law light on that weed stuff if you are doing weed thing. So
Keep
you will
scanning.
not get jail for that thing. Okay.
Alrighty, time's up for that question. Alright, over on to Eric Mason. Same question. Los Santos has seen an increase in drug activity. What are your plans to fight that?
That's a very good question, and that's a very, very sensitive topic. I told you earlier that I've been in contact with several members of the Trump administration, specifically the Honorable Jeff Sessions, who's the United States Attorney General. I've been on the phone with Mr. Sessions several times about how we are going to combat the drug activity within San Andreas if I'm elected. He's assured me the entire support of the DEA and the ATF. So if I am elected, those two government agencies will be coming to San Andreas, and they will be led by my nomination for Attorney General of San Andreas. Together, the ATF and the DEA are going to do their absolute best to ensure that we are tracking down on the hard cocaine smugglers, the methamphetamine smugglers, the opium smugglers, and we're going to do our damnedest to get the narcotics off the streets, so that way our children don't have to put up with it. So we're getting more programs set in place, and compared to my opponent, I've already spoken with members of the federal government to get this stuff in play, so it's only a matter of time.
First, hey, wait. I didn't answer the full question, so can I just give?
Well, we've gone over time for that question. If you'd like to rebut,
it's one sentence.
Okay,
Just
we'll
one
open
sentence.
up to a 35-second rebuttal.
So, the simplest thing I could just do that I will just make the pay of the taxi driver or other things like slaughter or wood.
I'm gonna have to relog my game.
Lumberjack thing. I will just make the pay grade more and try to decrease the drug money less. So that will be the easiest part to do that thing. To make the drug money go down and make the pay job much better.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
We'll open up public questions just after this. Eric Mason, do you have a rebuttal to his rebuttal?
we got a long road ahead of us. That is no question. But I actually agree with my opponent on this one. We need to increase wages for our small businesses, for our middle class. As governor, I fully intend to increase the wages of the taxi drivers and of the mechanic business. Those two operations are critical to the success and security of our community. They don't get paid enough for the work that they do, and they don't get appreciated enough for the work that they do. And you're damn sure, as your governor, I'm going to make that change.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
So
All
you
right,
guys
public,
in the
is there any
crowd just
questions
be
so
aware
far?
that our
Yes,
sniper
Yeah.
over here on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I got a question for you both. Both of you talking about raising the wage or income for the jobs. What are you going to do about the promotion of getting some EMS in the city here? Because we do actually have a lack of that recently. So you guys going to promote that in any way at all, or?
Moderator, who do you want to answer first?
We'll take an answer from Anio first.
Oh, for that thing, I will just. I think there is enough EMS around here. If you want to have EMS working for 24/7, I think that would be very hard for them to survive because they need some rest. So there are enough EMS. Yeah. If you got some problem with them, you could just report them. Yeah.
I'm seeing
Simply
red
report them
backpack
that there is
for
no
about
EMS
4 hours.
and.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Disregard.
We're talking about the promotion of the job itself.
Oh,
As in,
promotion of.
Yeah, the promotion
what
of
is running
working
like
for
an
like
AI?
the EMS, like ambulance services and within the hospital system.
Oh, for that, you could just get
Is there any
some
way to like bump
wages
me in the queue or something? Like, I'm gonna be
increases
sat here for
because
ages.
the lot you more do on your job, like a month or year or 2 years, you will be getting paid more than a newcomer in EMS. So we could just do that thing. Yeah.
Alrighty, Eric Mason, a rebuttal?
Black Jacket moves around
All
too
right, so
goddamn
EMS
much.
is
Freaking
really
me out.
touchy topic, and it has been for the last couple of months now. And as I've heard some members of the audience say, we haven't had
Do we still have a
as
unit
much
up on the
EMS
mountain?
on and available
Not right now.
as we'd
I'm
like.
trying to join back,
So
but
let me
I'm in a
explain
queue
the
of 5
reasoning
people,
for
so.
that.
Oh, it crashed.
The emergency services, specifically fire and EMS.
Yeah.
Fire and EMS are, to
I'm
my
trying to
knowledge,
join back with a
essentially
queue's
combining.
massive.
And we are reducing the number of active EMS personnel and more so relying on city and local EMS to respond to medical emergencies. With that, however, as it stands now, if a person is injured and there are no state-employed EMS personnel available, it takes roughly 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes, for the city EMS to get the green light to go ahead and revive you. And that's kind of unacceptable in my mind. The biggest thing, and I've been in contact with a lot of our agency leaders here, is instead of having individuals wait for 4 or 5 minutes before city or local EMS can respond, we're essentially going to take the pressure off of the state-employed EMS, so that way, if there are none available, people won't have to wait so long to receive the medical care that they desperately need. So, and a solution to that would be is letting our local and city EMS take more of the responsibility of medical calls, so that way the response time would be shortened from 4 or 5 minutes to 2 minutes. Okay, and people won't be dying on the streets as often waiting for a state-employed
That's what was happening
EMS
to me. I had to
person
relocate
to
because
become
of that.
available.
I couldn't
And
do anything.
that makes sense in my mind. If I were shot and if I were bleeding out, I would only want to wait 2 minutes for medical care versus 5 minutes.
Alrighty, we're over time here. Okay, did anybody else have any questions for the candidates? I'm sorry, who was
just
that?
one.
Can you please
Me.
raise your hand? Yes,
Got
sir.
the
You
ginger.
over there on the left-hand side.
Is the player list coming up for anyone else?
Do you
Yeah, it's coming up all the time.
the
It's pissing me
actions
off.
I just
of
Same for
restarted
me.
it.
gang members?
Okay.
that are,
That's why I
that are
relogged, because I
sponsoring
can't
you?
snipe people in the playlist
I'm
constantly.
sorry.
It's
I'm
coming
sorry.
up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Gray
Okay,
Jacket, get him
again,
out
I
of
believe
here.
that was
and
an
this is what my
accident.
opponent said, unless somebody provides evidence
He's been
that these
pretty
individuals
still
are
the whole
gang
time. I think
members,
it was an
they're
accident.
just simply allegations. And me personally, I throw allegations out the damn window. I don't even have time to comment on them. Unless you bring me solid facts, I'm not going to deal with it. And that's the same thing with my governorship. Okay, I'm only dealing with facts. I'm only dealing on things that we can change and we can fix. I'm not going to waste my time with rumors, speculations, or allegations. I don't have time for it.
Alrighty, sounds good. All right, just 3 more questions left in the debate. We're about just over the halfway mark. Alrighty, so
Can we
open this
speed this
question
up? Can this
to
be like the end?
Eric Mason. Recently, we have seen a
Take a step
diversity
back, sir.
problem with an
A lot farther
increased
along than
Aryan
halfway.
Brotherhood
Like,
dressing in white shirts and shaved heads. Any plans on the influx of them?
I'm sorry, I was distracted by the wall issue. What was the question?
Yes, absolutely, guys. Recently, we have seen a diversity problem with an increased Aryan Brotherhood in the city, dressing in white shirts and shaved heads. Any plans on the influx of these guys?
Yeah.
Do it one more time.
A lot of it relies on our oversight of the police agency. The state police deals a lot of those deals with a lot of 911 calls about those specific individuals. So
This guy
the
is
biggest
suddenly
thing
just
is
spawned in
we
the
need to
other
ensure that our troopers
maybe
are
he was
trained on how
reconnecting.
to
What's
interact
his name?
with those members of our community. A lot of those members of our community are fresh off the boat from other countries, other states. You know, some of them are influx from Nevada, from Arizona, even California, which is directly above San Andreas. A lot of our immigration comes from those neighboring states. So a big thing that we
Who do we
have
have on
to
perimeter right now?
address is, are our state
I'm
troopers
down here, and there's
qualified,
another officer.
and do they have the
He's
training
kicking down
necessary
in the front office.
Can I get one of you on the roof of the building?
address those individuals?
Yeah,
Because a lot of
I
them are
can do that. Give me a
confused.
second.
They don't know our laws. They
Thank you.
don't know our rules. So the biggest thing is having our police officers in a position to where they can assist those individuals with getting on the right track, whether it's getting them a job, getting them
This
new
guy is
clothes,
changing his clothes
getting them
right
a
in front of me.
vehicle, sending them to the BMV to obtain
To
a
your
driver
right,
license.
601.
We need to ensure our police
He just switched
are
to an
ready
Yeah,
entire
just
to
ignore
different
combat
that.
outfit.
that threat and
Okay.
to analyze the situation
I
and
didn't know
to
we used to do that.
turn those individuals from a threat into an ally, because that's how our community grows, is through those individuals, those newcomers to our state. I don't want a police force that demoralizes or harasses those individuals, because that's the future of our society right there, those new immigrants to our state. And I want to turn that into a force for good.
Alrighty.
Woo!
Alright, same question over to you, candidate
Goddamn.
Anio. Recently, we've seen a
Okay.
diversity problem with an increased Aryan Brotherhood dressing in white shirts and shaved heads. Any plans on the influx of these guys?
I think they are all, yeah, like that Erickson just said, that they are all coming from the other states. So instead of doing instead of
Right, there we go. I should
doing
be
the
back in
work
any
from
minute.
this police department, we could all just do those things. We could just make them understand what about the rules, and here we could just go and talk with them. You, you all could just serve them or just tell them about those, or just give a tour. Like me, I just gave them a tour. If there was a new person from any other state, I just talk to them and just try to tell them the rules, how to do the stuff, how to get home, how to do job, and everything. So I don't think there is any need of any police. Yeah, there would be need of police if there would be a criminal activity against that person, but we could just do as a social work. You all people of San Andreas could just do that thing. I don't think. Yeah, that's all. Okay.
Can I have a question about that?
I stopped
Alrighty,
listening
we
to
have,
my
we
opponent
just
about
have
15 minutes ago, so no rebuttal.
Oh, come on.
we just have 2 questions left,
Yeah,
so
that
we'll
was.
open up more public questions just
Morton
after
made
the
some funny
last
too.
2.
It's just about this one. I want to ask this particular question.
Alrighty, and again, we'll open
Tell
up
me.
public questions at the end. So this will go to Anio first. What do you
Okay.
feel can be most improved upon in the city of LS? If you had to pick one
Sorry?
thing, what could be most improved upon?
Improving thing, I think that would be the common people paychecks. Yeah, the monthly salary which they are receiving, it's very less. So I think that's the only thing I will just try to do. And second would be the corruption in the police department. And that's all. These 2 things. First will be my first priority will be the paychecks of the common people. That's all.
You know, I'm getting really sick and tired of my opponent claiming corruption in our state agencies. Okay,
Yo,
do
who
you
do you think's
people
winning?
not understand that the men and women in uniform standing, even protecting this debate here tonight, put their lives every day on the
Chris.
line so that you can live, that you can have a better quality of life?
Okay, you keep being
I'm
you,
running for
okay?
governor. As it stands right now in the polls, I'm knocking my opponent out. I'm a lieutenant in the state police, okay? I know firsthand the sufferings that these people deal with. I know firsthand what it's like to work
Watch
long
that guy
hours
in the
into
black
the night
jacket and the
just to
purple
make
shirt.
ends meet. Okay?
My
And when
text
my
isn't working.
opponent criticizes the people that make our way
Okay.
of life
Who
possible,
did you say, by the way?
it
Sorry.
sickens me. And it's disgusting that a person who would run for governor would demoralize the very same people that protect them. Shame on you, sir.
Got him.
Alrighty, one last
Yeah.
question, and we can open it up to public questions.
Can we not have the
Okay,
state
last
back any
question
one
is regarding
person?
public
I'm
Vic
fine
two-
if you
Regarding
personally
public
back someone.
transit
Vic
and
2 just
goods
disappeared,
into the
switching to
city.
Vic 1.
What do you, Eric Mason,
Pretzel, you're not
propose
allowed
do
to
about
talk.
the railway strike?
Yeah.
Shut,
Pretzel, no
shut
more
your
mic
mic up,
activation.
dude. Your mic is awful.
The
Don't
railway
don't
strike?
talk.
Okay, well let's address that public transportation.
Sounds like someone
The
shoved it in a
biggest
fucking
thing
blender.
is, honestly, even more so than railways, is our taxi drivers. Our taxi drivers make up almost 90% of the public commute and transit within our city, aside from having a personally owned vehicle. Okay, the railway strike, you know, a member of my administration is going to handle that. What I'm going to handle with, and honestly, what I think is the biggest issue, is getting more people employed with our taxi services. All right, we're seeing an outstanding number of carjackings and Grand Theft Auto charges than ever before.
Shit out of me,
And I
then,
think that's a
donut.
serious issue. And I think the only way
Sorry.
to combat that issue is to expand on small business, to open up job opportunities for our taxis, for our mechanics, for our tow drivers, tow truck drivers. That's the biggest way I believe that we can fix our transportation issue, is to hire
that guy's
more
code, Jared.
taxi drivers, to give them more incentive
Eastern, is
for
this you
joining these
standing
small
here with the
business
gun?
jobs. Give them better paychecks so they're not
Yeah.
living month to month to month, making terrible wages. We need to get our shit together. Excuse my language. We need to
If you don't mind just staying in one
we need to
place for me.
start putting our people first.
Alrighty, same
do it,
question. Last question over onto you, Anio, regarding the public transit and imports of goods into the city. What do you propose we do about the railway strike?
Hey, the guy that's pacing has been searched,
For
right?
the railway strike, I
Tip
don't
4, he's Mason's lieutenant
think
governor
that
candidate.
Yeah.
it's,
He actually never got
railway
searched
strike,
out.
I
I
think
think
I
you
will
need
not-
to let him through without search.
Simply just for the public transport, for like taxi, we could just make a department for the taxi which can use those railway and
Can one of you let him up here?
Oh my God,
He's
it's
lieutenant governor.
other
American.
community service. What?
Oh, nothing. Continue, sir.
I'm very well, so sorry. So I will just give that department to our taxi community, that they will just try to make it good and great, and better again. So I will just give that department to our transportation department. Yeah, those community taxi community. Yeah, that's all, and those problem will be solved right there.
Alrighty. And that was the last question regarding in the actual candidate debate. We'll open it up back to public questions right about now. Anybody
I have
have
a
any
question.
questions?
I have a question.
All right, you sir, and we'll take a question from the monkey mask here first.
Okay. So,
Wow.
when you said about, you know, the little people in the white t-shirts and the bald heads, why don't you just, you know, make maybe a group of people, assign a group of people, give them decent paycheck, and why don't you get them to be like a tour group? So when there's new people coming into the city, you know, them guys can come and get them on, and they can take them on a tour, show them all the rules, show them what to do, etc.
Yeah. Is it for me? So I did that. I do that thing. I stand on near the square park, or that job center. I just roam around there, and I do that social work. I think you all should all do that social work, especially, you all. There is
Yeah.
nothing you can not. Yeah, that's all. You can do that. I do that thing. I do that
But not
myself without being selfish. Yeah.
not all of us have got the time to do that because some of us have got businesses to run, you know. Not all of us have got the time to do that. This is what I mean. So if you
Right.
assign a certain amount of people to do that,
Right.
go out and do it.
Right.
There's
So
police department.
let me
We'll open it up for Eric.
Yeah, that's an outstanding point, and I thank you for bringing that to my attention. Let's make no mistake.
Not a one.
I am 100% in favor of public opinion on how to address the situation of the new immigration. Part of my role as governor is to listen to public opinions. So if you, the people, find me a solution
I'm gonna
for
have to
this
step
new
out of the
influx of
vehicle.
immigration,
Only got 47%
whatever
gas left.
legislation the state government puts on my desk, I'll sign immediately. If you guys come up with a solution to our
blips
problem,
go away for everyone?
I will 100% support it.
Yes.
But as what I said earlier, right now it just falls on the state
Sorry, that was
police
me.
because
I think
they are
you
the
have
ones
some
that are
serious
most
issues.
No, that was
Saying
trained
zero people
to
on the
handle
server
these
fence.
kinds of situations.
Your instance then.
But
said it was about
if
to
we
crash.
can alleviate
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
workload for the police with
Oh,
another
shit.
agency,
Oh,
we're gonna do
holy
it.
shit.
Please unhandcuff Mr. Horton.
Okay.
Yeah,
Please-
it seems
please
like
do that
everything
now.
works properly except that.
Thank you.
I was trying to get
I
him
didn't
up
want to
here.
get shot coming up here.
Okay, this is Eli Horton, my lieutenant
This is
governor
unit
candidate.
on the entrance.
And, he'll be up here as
I
well, but
cannot
let's keep the
search a
questions
person
for
because
myself
my
and
main
opponent
is
here.
not working.
Yeah.
Unhandcuff him.
Yeah, can we
There's a
unhandcuff
delay
him?
right
Like-
now, and that, yeah, so.
Give me a sec, I can come down and see if it
Crap,
works for me.
sounds like my mail back when I was a kid.
Fucking Norton, man.
Alrighty. We had one more question in the audience here, but I believe the question asker is now up on stage.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
did you have a question?
I did. So as you all know, I'm Major Chris. You know. As far as like the police department, I have a couple of concerns. Our new cadets are riding in ancient cars. Do you have any plans on upgrading the equipment for the boys in blue? I mean, the stress that we go through, we gotta have proper equipment, training. I also don't have a department shrink, and as much stress as my guys go through, I would love to have somebody in that profession to kind of help these guys go through traumatic events that they occur. You know, killing somebody is obviously not, you know, the greatest thing on the mind, if you know what I'm saying.
All right. Who would you like to answer first?
We'll open this question up to Anio first.
Fisher, Mike.
Oh, sorry. I didn't listen. Sorry. Can you repeat it in a short, please?
Okay, I'll answer first.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
let's address this.
Savage.
And I'm gonna talk to the people, Major. I'm sorry, I don't mean to turn my back on you, but
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
people need to hear this. The biggest thing is, and as I said before, putting our emergency services in a situation where they can win. Okay, my top priority is the funding of our emergency services,
A
ensuring
white
that our
suit
law
been
enforcement
searched?
personnel have the funds, equipment, and
Has they
resources
been?
they need to be in a position to win. I've said that several times. So yes,
What
if
about
I'm
the
elected
gray
governor,
hoodie next to him?
a large majority of our state
I think I
funds
searched
are
both
going to
of
go
them
to
on
the
the
state
parking lot.
police. We're going to go to the fire department.
You think?
Because those
Hey,
are the
thank
I'll go
individuals
search them again.
that keep our streets safe, that keep our children in schools, that keep our crime level down. So, Major, if I'm elected as your governor, I fully intend to work hand in
Can't
hand with
search.
you day in and day out, even if it means staying up
Alright.
long hours to address
I'm
our
gonna try it.
issues and finding solutions to combat those issues. Because I believe
We
that
got a
we
motorcycle
need to have
coming
our
in.
boys in blue in a position where they can win.
Who's doing donuts? You got a motorcycle approaching?
Get him out of
Yes,
here.
what?
Back up. Back up.
Alrighty, that sounds lovely. Any
The
more
motorcycle
questions
is
from
clear.
the public?
Woo!
Park over there,
Alright,
where the other cars are.
I've got a question. I've
Let's
just got
go
one
ahead.
last question. One last.
We got a question. We got a
Hey,
question.
be quiet, be quiet, be quiet.
One last question for the man dressed up in very, very weird things. Earlier on, he mentioned that he would like to make the
He looks
all
like a
the
pimp.
jobs get paid more, and then he looks like a pimp. But anyway, to the question, he said that he wants to make all the other jobs like lumberjack, fishing, and all those things pay more, and he's gonna make the drugs pay less. How do you have control over the drugs? Are you part of the drugs that you say that you can make them pay you less? Because how does any government official have any way possible to tell a drug dealer to
Is
sell
that
his drugs for less?
Is that a police running around with a weapon away?
That's me.
Okay.
These cars aren't
Simply,
allowed to park here, so
I
I'm
will
moving
just.
them.
Yeah, good.
Why do you want to go
Lips
for
are back.
drugs if you
Oh,
are getting
lol.
paid more
Simply
in by any job? Why do you want to
Can
go
you help me
for
move that
drugs?
last car? I gotta get back on
think
stage.
just
It will
But-
automatically
Not a lot of people
reduce
like the
your
hard
thing.
work, mate. Not a lot of people like the hard work. They would just want to
And
do that
also
Nope.
the
quick
lips are
and
back.
easy.
No, don't move
quick
mine.
cash.
Don't move mine.
Why I
Are
need
you-
this lane
I'm
first.
Lumberjack,
I gotta
Okay.
go.
that's a hard
I'm
job.
just pushing back here. Yeah,
Okay,
this
no
lane.
problem.
And plus,
Yeah, that
Oh.
car is locked.
people
We need to
from
find the owner for it.
Deviate
that they didn't
or
make it
get the
through
owner.
school,
Yeah,
that's
get
all
the
they know,
owner,
that's
else
their
we're
way of
towed.
living. So how are you gonna put them in just on the streets if that's their only way of keeping alive? I mean, I know some of them are bad people, but that's sometimes the only way they live.
It's okay. So we as a community have to do work. Yeah, we as a community have to do that work. If there is a serious situation, we got rehab. We got rehab. We could just get them there and we could make them perfect, not to do that thing again. Otherwise, it's very dangerous for you. You could just get for the jail, which is very strict. You have to pay half of your age and under a jail. So that's it.
Sorry, I did not
So I
notice
don't
this
think.
on the call.
Yeah, what?
Hi, I need you to leave the server.
Oh, me?
Okay,
You okay?
please.
Sure.
You're the.
Okay, well, we're both running for government candidates.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
Chris, you able to move back?
Oh, that's a good point.
You're not.
You on drag?
No, it's a hosting issue. I'm on the phone with whoever is the host is now. I'm gonna ask him to leave. I tried fucking kicking him, but it didn't work. Yeah, right now you're the host of the server, and you're bogging everyone down.
Yeah, I've left.
Okay.
I do have a question, if possible.
Guys, you have to understand that this is the first time we're getting a candidate.
Can I join back or?
Yeah, you can join back. It's just you're the host, and I think I've kicked you for this before. And it's just because everyone's connection is running off of you.
Okay, let's
basically,
try
since
to
you're the
analyze
That
first
wasn't
person that
joined.
really
joined.
a
Are you asking
question.
why? Are you asking why we don't have a military?
Yeah, my internet might not be the best.
Okay,
so
first
the
off,
fuck?
we gotta address
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Suitable
What the
host.
fuck?
Right. Right.
Well,
I understand the
thank
question.
you for telling
Right.
me and not just kicking me.
Try DV, Fluffy, try DV.
That's false. They are. That's false. Yes, our special weapons and tactics team is specifically trained to use marksman rifles. The National Guard has no say in policing actions. They are for the national defense of the state. The Army National Guard The army. Let me explain this to you, okay? Because I served in the United States Army for many years. Okay. The Army National Guard of San Andreas does not conduct law and order
Alright, thank you,
actions
sir.
within the state of San Andreas. Okay. There's conclusive, proprietary, and judicial types of jurisdiction.
Bubble jacket. Bubble jacket.
Okay.
Sorry. Oops, sorry, wrong one.
Yeah. What the hell?
Wrong weapon.
Jesus
Didn't
Christ.
change. Lagging so much. Disregard that.
Jeez.
Yo, the delay on this is so real, Chris.
Yeah, that's because of the goddamn host is from fucking Nigeria.
Can you? How do we get up?
I just talked to him and I had him leave.
Dude, you
so
can disregard that
the server
shot.
should be catching up here shortly.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you
was
tried
supposed to use a
arresting me,
taser.
like a long time ago when you walked up behind me when I was standing over there.
Uh-huh. And then I walked away.
Yeah, dude.
And then you fucking
I
just
didn't
jumped
realize,
to
I
me.
thought you were.
Okay.
No, I was
you
trying
were
to.
using admin powers.
No, I
And
was
then
trying to move you up to the fucking
Wait, why
stage.
did I not punch?
Yeah. And then Brop was like, "That's how bad the fucking lag is right now." He tried cuffing you like 5 minutes ago, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're right."
Oh yeah, who's the new host? Are they from fucking
I don't know. How do you
Nigeria
tell?
too?
Oh,
Whoever's been
shit.
here the longest, so that's Matrix now.
Oh.
Well, I'll take us back so that we
Next
can
server
at
now.
least fucking listen.
Good luck. We can barely type in game.
I think they said they're about finished.
Jesus. I
Most
can't
of
even
them-
change weapon.
Okay.
This is so bad. Oh my god.
That's what
Get him out of
happens.
here. Black suit out. He's causing problems. Front
Hello.
line, Soul, stay back. Front line, get it.
Okay, he
Only
looks
thing
like
I
he's
can
coming
say,
back over
sit tight for there, buddy.
There's
White
such a
suit, I got a
delay.
question
We're
for the
going to
host.
Black
open
suit,
it
get him out
now.
For me, sure. What's
Yeah.
the question?
The white suit
do
leaving?
How do we go about voting? Is that a little
White
box
suit
we drop
leaving.
It wasn't black
like
suit, it was
action
white
in?
suit.
On a piece of
Oh.
paper? Like, do we just,
Okay, well,
how do we
get
vote,
that
basically?
guy out of here.
Yeah, he's walking away.
My bad.
I was just going to come ask the Major for that. Major, how would you like the public to vote?
I have a well, there's gonna be a link
There is
posted in the poll
black,
section. You
white
want to go
male
ahead
with
and click on
black
that
suit,
link and then put your vote in,
black,
and then we'll tally it out
mask,
in about an hour or so.
walking into the area.
It's gonna be a lot sooner than that.
Feel like
Oh,
you want
he
to
just
gotta
take the chrome
Yeah, I mean, if you
car.
wanna fire it off,
I
let's
think
fire it off.
The car is BMW with
Yeah,
a
go ahead
spoiler.
and post that link, and then we'll.
Hey, why am I
We'll
arrested?
do everyone.
There's lag. Hold on.
Like I'm handcuffed, like
Yeah.
on the stage.
I know. It's lag. You've been uncuffed. It's just gonna take a minute.
Eric for the win, Eric for the winner.
Guy with a gun.
Oh, we gotta go with the gun. We gotta go with the gun. He's dead.
Hacker. Hacker.
Oh my
On me, on me, on me. Get him, get him out.
Somebody kill me, nice.
Left, go left.
Card two.
I'm still fucking handcuffed.
Shit, Donut, you
Get
were
him out.
behind
Get
that.
him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Out. Out.
Take him right, take him right. Other car. Get him right.
I
Oh,
would
somebody's
help, but I
hacking.
wasn't
Who is that?
fucking handcuffed.
Where are they? Where
I wanna
are
say
they?
Penta. Penta. No.
Where
or
are
James
guys?
Bond. No.
Where's the other one?
Where's the governor? Hi, mate. Where's the governor?
Team
I got
shit's
the other
working.
one, I got the
Got
other
rid of
one.
that guy.
Sorry.
I can't.
There was
Can't-
two Mercedes, silver and black one.
Alright, we're moving. Main labs.
Okay, royalty rollout. Royalty roll.
It's, leaving the area.
Still
well,
come with me.
protect
This way,
us.
behind. Follow, follow, follow.
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Alright, sit tight.
Billy, where'd you go?
Down the stairs, down the ramp. Keep going straight.
To the left.
Keep going straight.
I have eyes.
Anyone
I have
hurt?
eyes.
Are you injured? You good?
402, I've got the Lieutenant Governor.
I've got both.
Where's? All right, Ginger. You're gonna fucking.
Follow,
I've got
follow
him.
this way.
Northbound
Get
Los Angeles. I need units.
We need our governors in the armored car. Where's the
No,
gin?
they're good. We're
Come
good.
on,
They're
follow,
out.
keep coming
They're
this way.
out.
Okay, well, we need
A
to
few
haul
miles
them
out.
anyways.
Where's the governor right now?
So get out of that vehicle and come down
I'm not in it. I'm not in it.
There is BMW, the Chrome
Minimize.
one.
Yeah, there's a BMW with chrome
Limousine.
rims hauling ass in here.
Everyone just take control of the scene. I need at least 3 or 4 units on
I'm
me.
right behind you. I'm right behind you.
Yo, how many times did you kill him?
I'm in the
I'm
parking
right
lot.
behind you in the marked Charger. I'm right
Alright,
behind you.
minimize it. We're good. Call out contacts, but we're 2.5 miles out right now. Looking clear.
What's the status of the vehicle that has the Lieutenant Governor inside?
Control.
We're good. We're all good.
Don't talk, Pretzel.
Alright, the BMW driver's leaving.
Scene's been clear.
Okay, where are the governors being taken to?
Alright, let's go, guys.
Humane Labs.
Not up with me.
I am behind the correct vehicle, right?
I'm gonna mark Humane Labs.
I believe so.
Who's the officer at the top here? Far up? Is that the governor?
What? I'm up north. I'm on Chianti.